Next, we have Mr. Eugene Dean, the chairman of Greenrock, a local registered charity, which focuses on environmental education and wider sustainability issues. Mr. Dean, you may commence your presentation.
All right. Okay, greetings, everyone. Give thanks for the opportunity to present, and welcome to all the panelists on the advisory panel. So today, I think we have quite a few people who are going to speak about the technical ramifications. I spend most of my time in the community, and so I'm going to give more of a community perspective in the 10 minutes that we've been given. So first, as it relates to Greenrock's position, we are about sustainability, and we recognize that in today's world, safe, reliable, fast internet connectivity is now a fundamental human need in our society and required for an environmentally, socially, and economically sustainable Bermuda. Our concern in this instance, which we have shared in press statements recently, is as much to do with the process as the outcome. What we recognize is that people need more time to better understand and feel comfortable with this technology and to have the concerns heard and addressed. There are many people in the community that are concerned about 5G technology. And yes, there are also general concerns about, cell phone or wireless technology, across the board. The thing about that is that, we have the opportunity to choose how much we engage with wireless technology, whether at home, at work, or our children in school. And the understanding is that this option will not be available with the deployment of 5G technology throughout the island. And if it should be the case that there is an option, then we feel that that should be explained. This is a time of extremely heightened health concerns and anxiety for many people in our community as a result of the pandemic. And this should also be considered and incorporated when addressing this whole initiative. What's happened so far is that people's concerns have been belittled, and that only increases people's concerns and increases people's resistance. People get more and more radical. And that's a thing that we've been trying to mitigate. We are about the science, so we're suggesting that anybody who has invested interest in seeing 5G technology implemented in Bermuda should be investing the time in making sure that the community is well educated about it and that people's concerns are addressed. As an organization, we're advocates, and our goal is to represent people and represent the environment. Again, we're looking for sustainability. We're collaborators, so we want to be able to work with organizations, even like the RA and this advisory panel, to be able to assist with making sure that we have a fair and just process. And just a bit about why collaboration is important. Feedback from the community, again, is people generally feel like their concerns are just being dismissed. Just in general, communities don't tend to have, a very positive relationship with governments as it stands. and so, it's always apprehension when you hear information kind of coming from a top down. The other thing is that in talking with members of the RA, yes, we recognize that efforts have been made, to educate the community. Information is shared on the website, ads have been put in the paper and all sorts of things. But the reality is that people don't really go to the RA website. or a lot of other government websites. And unless we're in a position where we're willing to take information to the community, then the community is not going to really be informed. And in our experience in just being out in the community, people really have had very little knowledge of the fact that this process is going on, and even less knowledge about what 5G. Even in interviews recently with the minister responsible for this area, Minister Raban, when asked, right, from the community about what 5G is on radio interviews, has been unable to give a clear and succinct answer. So even that is proof that we need more time to build a general understanding within the community. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to be experts, but people need to know enough to feel comfortable with the technology being implemented and know that it's going to be a benefit to us. I also had a call, and I feel I need to share this. I had a call from someone in the community who said that they read one of the ads in the paper about the 5G. And their feel for it was that it appears to be an insincere attempt. This is their words, an insincere attempt to say that you've reached out to people. Now, what she said is that I'm not very tech savvy, and I see something about I have to go online and make a submission. So I called the RA, and I wasn't able to get anyone. So I decided to send a letter in, you know what I mean, to just express my sentiments. So anyway, these are things that are coming from the community. So people are skeptical. The other thing I want to share is like, what is the real business case? We've heard things like 5G is going to help with, virtual reality, online gaming, self-driving cars, faster download speeds. Are these things that we really need? Or are these things that, right, innovators in the industry are looking to push on the community as market employees, And the industry can be very good at that, Now, I'm not saying that there's no benefit, but I think more clarity needs to be given on what is the business case. Because from our perspective, being able to download a movie on our phone in 6 minutes, right, as it currently stands, and now then being able to download that same movie in like 3 seconds, that's not really enough of a business case to justify the deployment of such infrastructure all throughout the island. And self-driving cars, again, I'm not sure if that's something that Bermuda necessarily needs, and it's going to really like drive business forward in the country. The other thing I want to share about is that a lot of concerns have been raised also about our current capacity to manage the wireless infrastructure that we already have on the island. I know one of the questions was about, should we adopt FCC standards in Bermuda? Now, there have been concerns about FCC standards, about them being totally outdated and needed to be revamped and not, really protecting, I guess, human and environmental health. So it looks like we don't even have that level of protection in Bermuda, We're still at a place where we need like a public registry of where like all the cell phone towers are. We don't understand that there are any formal setback limits. My understanding, I've seen cell phone towers in people's yards in Bermuda, right in the middle of residential areas. My understanding also is that we have a cell phone tower on top of our hospital, which in a lot of other jurisdictions around the world is just deemed totally unacceptable. So also, this is another reason why we feel like we need to take pause with this before bringing in a whole nother level, right, of wireless technology and infrastructure, that we get a better handle on managing the infrastructure that we have in place in Bermuda right now. So I'm just gonna kind of close off and say that on a personal level, and this is how I'm appealing to everyone, not necessarily as professionals, but just as human beings. And I've even heard Denton, as the CEO, express that, no, we don't want to be in a situation where we're implementing technology that's not going to be safe for our families and our children and things of that nature. So my suggestion would be that we err on the side of caution, that we look at all the data and look at all the science. And if the concerns are valid and there's science that is backing up these concerns, that we err on the side of caution. and we take time with this. It doesn't appear to be anything imminent. And again, if there is something imminent that we need to be mindful of, something that 5G is going to bring to our community that's going to help to transform us and benefit us in a large way, that information needs to be shared, right? Business and technology is designed to benefit people. Technology is meant to make our lives easier, is meant to increase levels of productivity. Business is meant to solve problems for people. We keep hearing conversations about the business case and why 5G is important for business and the economy. When business is meant to serve people, likewise technology. So if we are now putting more emphasis on the servant of people rather than putting the emphasis on people themselves, that's another cause for concern. We have to understand what the purpose of things are and the order of importance of things. And all that we're suggesting is that human health, environmental sustainability is far more important than innovation if that innovation is not in alignment with those principles. So, safe technology, we're definitely all for it. And if this 5G technology is going to be safe and bring benefit for our community, then we will help to advocate for that. You know? However, as I stated already, our concerns are more so with the process, and we feel that we should take time to make sure that we're able to get input from the whole community and build consensus that's going to be in the interest of Bermuda and all Bermudians. So give thanks for the opportunity to speak, and I wish all you well with what I know must be a challenging process. Give thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. We appreciate your contribution.